What if the thought you have repeated for years is not a fact, but simply a sentence your mind has learned to rehearse? I am not good enough. I always fail. Nothing ever works out for me. Thoughts like these can arrive so quickly that they do not feel like thoughts anymore. They feel like descriptions of reality. But a familiar thought is not necessarily an accurate thought. That distinction matters because the stories you repeat can influence how you feel, what you notice, and what you do next. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you always fail, a new opportunity may feel like another chance to prove the story true. You may hesitate, avoid the risk, or give up after the first setback. Then the result seems to confirm what you believed from the beginning. The thought becomes a loop. One way to interrupt that loop comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is built around a practical idea: thoughts, emotions, and behaviors affect one another. A difficult situation can trigger an automatic thought. That thought can intensify an emotion. The emotion can shape your next action, and the action can reinforce the original belief. Imagine that you make a mistake at work. The automatic thought might be, I always mess everything up. That thought creates shame and anxiety. You begin avoiding the project, stop asking questions, and lose confidence. The avoidance makes the work harder, which seems to prove that you really cannot handle it. The goal is not to replace that thought with, I am perfect and never make mistakes. Your mind probably will not believe it, and it does not need to. A more balanced response might be, I made a mistake on this part. I can correct it, ask what I need to know, and keep going. That response does not deny what happened. It removes the absolute judgment and gives you somewhere useful to go next. This is the difference between forced positivity and grounded reframing. Forced positivity tries to cover the uncomfortable thought with a brighter sentence. Grounded reframing looks directly at the thought, questions what it is claiming, and builds a response that is both kinder and more accurate. You can practice it in 3 steps. First, catch the thought. Notice the moment your mood changes, your motivation drops, or your stress begins to rise. Ask yourself, what was I just saying in my mind? Second, create some distance. Instead of saying, I am a failure, try saying, I am having the thought that I am a failure. That small change reminds you that the thought is an event in your mind, not your identity, and not a final verdict. Third, write a response you can actually believe. If the thought is, I am not good enough, you might answer, I am still learning, and this moment does not define my worth. If the thought is, I always fail, you might answer, some things have not worked, but I can learn from this attempt and choose my next step. If the thought is, I will never make enough money, you might answer, I do not know exactly how my income will change, but I can improve one decision, skill, or opportunity at a time. If the thought is, nothing ever works out for me, you might answer, I am discouraged right now. Some things have been difficult, but this feeling cannot predict every outcome. The strongest reframe is not the most inspiring sentence. It is the one that feels honest enough to use. That is important because repetition matters. The brain can learn and adapt throughout life. This ability is often called neuroplasticity. It does not mean that repeating a phrase will magically change your circumstances. It means that the responses you practice can become more familiar and easier to access over time. If self-criticism has been rehearsed for years, a balanced response may feel unnatural at first. That does not make the practice fake. It means you are trying a different mental route. Each repetition is a chance to notice the old pattern before it takes over. You may still feel fear, doubt, stress, or insecurity. Mental wellness is not the absence of difficult thoughts. It is the ability to work with them more intentionally. Sometimes the win is simply recognizing, this is the old story again. I do not have to let it decide my next move. That pause creates space. In that space, you can check the facts. You can choose a more accurate sentence. You can take one action that supports the person you want to become instead of obeying the harshest voice in the room. Small shifts may not feel dramatic in the moment, but they can change the direction of a day. Repeated over time, they can support greater self-awareness, resilience, motivation, and self-trust. This is the idea behind Mind Flip in VeraMind. Mind Flip helps you start with the negative thought that is actually present, pause long enough to examine it, and turn it into a response that is more grounded, constructive, and useful. The thought still happened. You are choosing not to let it have the final word. Your thoughts may be listening, but you can choose what you practice saying back. If that sounds useful, you can find VeraMind on the App Store or learn more at veramind.app.